Hi there, my crafting friends. It's Diane Evans from stampingwithdiane.com. I'm an independent Canadian Stampin' Up demonstrator here in the interior of British Columbia. So I apologize for being a couple minutes late. You know, it's funny. Isn't it Murphy's Law that your dog always wants to go out just when something else is supposed to happen? But in any event, hi, it's so good to be back in my studio for our Now What series, right? So I wasn't sure exactly what I should use. And the thing is we have a lot of different stuff in our craft rooms, our studios, and sometimes we're stuck on how we use them. So I want to show you something a little bit different, and we're going to do with tag topper punches. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. In any event, let's get going on this because I'm quite excited about this one, and I'm hoping that it's going to turn out the way that I want it to. So you could use any of these tag topper punches, any of the ones that are not I think these two are still available. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this one. I'm pretty sure it's still available. If somebody could just let me know. In any event, it's going to work either way. It's going to work just as well with one or the other. So we'll go ahead and we'll use that one. And also what we're doing is I am using, oh my goodness, I shouldn't have started using this, but I'm using the Crane of Fortune bundle. This bundle is actually the bundle or the suite that we're using for our stamp camp in April. And I couldn't wait that long to use this suite. It's amazing. There's so many different things that you can do with it. But on this particular one, I'm going to show you a different sort of technique that we can do with the punches, but also a technique that we've done 2 or 3 times before. And then it's this designer series paper. Oh my goodness. I do have a favorite. Unfortunately, I'm going to probably use that up before I use any of them. And this is my favorite right here. I just love this one. But they're all really nice. And on one side, they have the different images. And then on the reverse side, they have like the smoky slate, the gold shimmer, and also a white on the back. Amazing what you could do with this. Who'd ever think gray and gold would go together, but it goes fantastically together. So like I say, we're going to use this. I was going to use the crane, and then I thought, no, come on, Diane, get into doing something with the flowers as well. So we're going to use these flowers. And oh man, could somebody help me out here? I really think these are chrysanthemums. I'm not sure though. I'm not the best with flowers. I'm better if I see them in real life, but I think that's what they are. So what we're going to do is it's kind of a partial cutting with your die, but it's also it's using your die in a different way. So what we're going to need also are our layering circle dies, and we're going to need the largest one that you have in there. And chrysanthemums, I know it would be so sensible for an Asian type card. Yes, for sure. That's why I said chrysanthemums, because that or another one that goes along with the Asian theme is also a dahlia, right? So anyways, so I have my cards stock here, and originally I wasn't going to use any of the greens, but I ended up gravitating to the evening evergreen. What are we going to do when this color goes back out of style, or it is no longer an in color? The good thing about it is that we have hello. The good thing about it is that we have another year and a bit with this. So this card base is a regular half of your 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. So it's 5.5 by 8.5. And I do apologize for you people down in Australia, but you can do it appropriately with the the ones that just by having your cardstock. You know what? I agree. Peggy went and said maybe they're going to make this a permanent color. Would this not be amazing to have this as a permanent color? I can think so many colors that I would love to see as a permanent color. Okay, back to the card. 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And again, I'm going to fold into the mountain. Now, I should have had a color for the inside. And you know what? I'm going to just go and quickly grab a basic white. And this is going to be for the inside, but it's 3 3/4 by 5 inches. I like the one that's like gives you a bigger border on there. But I also have a piece of this designer series paper. And this is the back side with the Calypso coral on there. Now, with this one, the original way that I was going to do this card, I was going to use this color, but I've changed the way that I'm doing it. And I'm going to have it use this color or this side of the sheet, the designer series paper. Now, I also have a piece of basic white, and this one happens to be just 4 inches by 5 inches. And there's a reason why I'm just leaving it. It's a very loose size on this particular one. So what I'm going to do is we're going to be doing some embossing. So I'm coming in with my embossing or my embossing buddy. And like I say, I'm using the chrysanthemum here, and we're going to use Versamark on here. Nice clean pad. I treated myself to a new Versamark. But did I throw them out? No, I didn't. I should throw my other ones out, but I have issues with throwing out stamps. All right, so we're just going to put this about here. I'm hoping that that's okay right there. And then I'm going to use, originally when I started doing this, I was going to use a gold embossing powder. But what I'm using is I am going in and I'm using white embossing powder. And we're just going to just get that. I don't know why I do my embossing powder like this, but I like the way that I can get a really good even thing. When I use a spoon or something else, I find I don't get enough embossing powder on there. Now, probably one of the hardest things to emboss is white on white or clear embossing powder. But really do it the one easy way and move the paper. Don't move the gun back and forth, and you'll find it's quite easy. I'll just remember these heat guns have 2 settings. We want it on the high setting. And like I say, I'm just going to start having it come from one end to the other. You know I love my embossing. It's so effective, and especially with this technique that we're using with this particular one. Now, what I wanted was a tag with this, and I want to incorporate the chrysanthemum with the tag. So, it's funny because I could have cut it the 2 inches for this, but what I want to do is I want to show you a different use for these punches. So I'm just going to go ahead and open it up. And then this is probably the trickiest part of the whole thing is I'm just taking my cardstock and I've just sort of put it underneath, and it's just put in between here. And see how it's just like that? And then I'm just going to punch this. And see what it's doing there is it's kind of giving me a tag, but that's not the whole point of this. So what we're going to do is I'm going to bring in my big cut and emboss machine because it's that big. And remember I said that you needed the largest circle die from the layering circle. And all you're going to do is you're just going to put that, scoop that down there, and just like that. Now it's looking like I've got my plate here. So we're just going to scoop that down to there. Just going to put this on here, and you're going to see how easy this really is. So let's just push that through. There we go. And now I'll show you. It's a circle tag. So this works really well with ovals as well, but of course now we don't have any ovals. So that's not going to help us. But see how now we have this circle tag. All right. So then I thought, well, we're going to do Emboss Resist. So I was playing around with colors, and I'm going to show you the ones that I've done with gold, and I've done with soft succulent and with evening evergreen, and then I've used other ones, but I decided on the evening evergreen, and I'm just going to come in with this. And again, I tried using my my blending brushes, and I found they weren't dark enough. I wanted, yeah, isn't that great, Peggy? It just gives another use for those punches, right? That's what I like about this series. Now, what it gives you other uses for things that you already have in your craft room, right? Now, I wanted to put a scrap piece of paper down there, but you know what? I'm just going to come in with this, and we're just going to put this down here. And like I said, I started doing this with the blending brushes, but I found it wasn't dark enough, because what I wanted was a really dark evening evergreen look. And I found the sponge daubers gave me that look, the darkness or the dark that I wanted with it. Oops. And I do it just in circles. You're going to get some different lines in there, but so like I say, this is the suite that we're using for the April stamp camp. Registration is open for the stamp camp for using Artfully Composed. So I'm just going to go in a little bit darker around the edges. And then I'm going to make sure that this is good on the inside as well. And say everything has a use. If I wanted this to be fairly subtle, I would have used the blending brushes. Yes, you can still buy sponge daubers. Yes. Let's just check that out. But the sponge daubers are on. Can't buy the regular sponges that we used to have, the Stampin' Up sponges, but you can get the sponge daubers on page 129. So right here, and they're right down here, Marjorie. All right. So like I say, I'm just going to go in. I just want to make sure that that's good and dark. Yes, page 129 of the annual catalog. Thank you, Lorraine. All right. So then what you always want to do when you do Emboss Resist is you want to come in with the Kleenex, and then you just want to rub off that ink that is on your embossing so that it pops up. Right? So just like that. And then like I say, now we can go ahead and we can start kind of putting the card together. So like I said, I was going to use this paper. Now let me show you the other ones that I had done doing this. So originally I just started doing, and I just done it with Calypso Coral, and to me it just wasn't enough. It didn't pop enough. Still very pretty. So it just shows you that you can still do the same technique with that. Then I did one with the white, and this was done with the blending brushes. So you can see it wasn't quite dark enough, and that's using Calypso Coral. Then I really kind of like this one because this one was too shaded, and this was with the gold, but I found the gold with the Embossing Resist, it kind of dulled it a bit. So that's why I stuck to having the white. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put this onto my card. And I'm going to use glue on here. That way I can do the wiggle room. I know I haven't been getting too straight when I use my seal, especially when I'm on camera. So now we want to make sure that we have this going the right way. So I am saying that's the way that these Asian type flowers are going. Hello, Heather. All right. So we have this. Now I have a piece of Evening Evergreen because what I wanted to have something that I could put this on and pop it up with. But another thing that I wanted to do was I thought, oh, it'd be nice to bring the gold in. So I have a piece, this piece here, I believe is just bear with me. It's 3.5 by 3.5. And this is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. And this happens to be just a piece of gold. And what I've done was I took some dies from the inside here and I cut those out. And actually it's kind of funny because this piece of gold actually also has, I put adhesive sheets on it. So these little pieces that I've cut out here have adhesive sheets on. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to layer that and see how that's going to but see, like I say, I could have gone in with the gold. You know, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking the gold might have looked a little bit better here. You know what? That's okay. We're going to use the white. And then we're going to do some other accents with the gold. All right, so I'm just going to come in and layer this on there. So this is one way that you can be frugal with your gold foil. You only get 2 sheets to a package. And if you don't have lots on hand, it's really annoying when you run out because there's only the 2 12 by 12 sheets. So yeah, you know what? The white is what's going to be. Oh dear. Now I'm going to put that on there. This is going to be popped up here, but we're going to put some ribbon on there as well. But I also have, and I had some gold here too, a gold strip, and now I've misplaced that. So where did I put it? Oh, there it is. Now, should I do the sentiment in gold or should I do it in white to correspond with that? I am thinking I might do it in gold. But the sentiments, they have some fantastic sentiments on here. Wishing a lifetime of happiness in a world full of love. Much love and good fortune is what I'm actually going to use. I really like that saying. Hello. I'm so glad you guys can join me. So let's go ahead and we're just going to do this like this. Now, I'm going to use the Embossing Buddy. And you know what? To show the same, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one in gold and one in white. And then from there, we can take our choice. So we'll just put this here. And then I'll just put that into my white embossing powder. Oops, that is not very straight at all. So let's try that again. So let's bring that down a bit. Okay. Let's see. I'll just grab my gold as well. So the white will go on the first one, which is crooked. I have a feeling I'm going to be using the gold anyways. And there's the gold. I see that I have a bit of gold embossing powder on there. All right. And I better cover these because knowing my luck lately, we know what could happen, that's for sure. All right, so I'll just quickly heat emboss these. I really think I am going to be using the gold on here. To say the gold doesn't show up too much on yeah, it's definitely going to be the gold. And then you can see I have a bit of a halo on here too. Sometimes you're lucky and you can just sort of scratch that off. All right, so I'm just going to come in and I'm just actually going to use my snips for this. And that's just going to go on here. All right. I'm very daring to get this straight. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and put that on with dimensionals, and I'm going to use the black dimensionals because it's a dark. I'm going dark, a dark color. I'm going to use 3 so it doesn't dip. Okay, take your pick tool. So I hope you give this a try because I think you'll really like the fact of how you can really start extending and making your punches go a little bit further. Now I'm thinking this would have been pretty cool with it up there, but we're using this because that was what was intended. Now, personally, I really truly do think that the shimmer ribbon that is on the shimmer ribbon that has been carried over, but not until the next catalog, would have been amazing on this particular thing here. But we're going to use this 1/4 inch gold shimmer ribbon instead. I'm just going to just pull this up. Let's just cut this. I don't know if you can see certain things, but I get some funny people come on to Facebook Lives, and hopefully you didn't see them because you have to block them. And I don't know how they can do it, but they can actually go on there and they can come back even after you've blocked them. It's really kind of a weird sort of situation. All right. Or what we could do, let me just go and I think the shimmer ribbon would be so pretty with this. And like I say, it is, you can't get this ribbon until after, but see how much prettier that would have been. But I haven't gotten rid of it out of my stash because of course it's coming back. Let's see. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, and then I'm also going to take the essential. This is Simply Elegant trim, and we're going to tie that as well. And then I can trim that off. So this is just going to go around here. And you know, I could, even if I wanted to bring up some gold even onto this white piece here. What I could do is I could go around and put some gold, that gold leafing on there. I could also go ahead and put gold embossing powder around the edge. So I think that's something that I might even turn around and do after this video, and put the gold leafing on there, because I think that would kind of tie all of it sort of together. My ribbon scissors are upstairs. There we go. Oops. All right. So this is going to go like so. I'm just going to put that right on with the glue. So I could also go ahead and, oh, this has got that adhesive sheets on the back. So here, and those things that I took out, you see how they could even go onto this part here. And I think I'm going to tie in some gold in there. I think it definitely needs some gold to be tied in. So let me just put this one on here. Go ahead and put that right there. Gee, I almost got that, eyeballed that to be exactly the same size as up above. Oh my goodness. That's kind of amazing. Now, this has that strip stuff on there. Adhesive sheets. Not intentional, I'll tell you that right now. That's just going to go on there. Like I say, this needs a bit of gold on it, so and we're going to have to cut those down a little bit as well. And I don't think I can get away with this tiny bit of gold on there. I probably could, but in any event, what I think I'm going to do is I want this to be good and dry. So I'm going to actually put some embossing around the edges here, or the gold leafing, depending on how it works. And there's my card. So, like I say, that is done by using the punches, by sliding them in as I did them. And then that, like I say, gives you a bit of a different tag in there. It works great with ovals as well, but unfortunately Stampin' Up got rid of their ovals, so that doesn't help us at all. All right, so don't forget, if you do live in Canada, thank you. If you do live in Canada, and we have our catalog launch that is going on the 22nd, I believe it is. Let me just double check and see what date that is. It is the 22nd. There is a Facebook group that you can join to go with that and sign up for the Make and Takes. The cutoff is tomorrow, actually. And then also for the Stamp Camp, that's actually available all throughout the world for Artfully Composed at the end of this month. If you are outside of Canada, contact me, because I can connect you with the other demonstrators that are from around the world. We have ones from the States, we have some from the UK, and we also have some from Australia in our Stamp Camp with us as well. So I hope you enjoyed that. Now what? Make sure, give me the thumbs up. Make sure you share this with whatever. I'd really appreciate it. Make sure if you want to get notified when I go live, subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you have any questions at all, make sure that you reach out. And if there's certain things that you would love for me to do on this Now What, even if it's stuff from the new catalog, I can definitely use some new stuff from the new catalog. Oh, you know what? I should have also put some embellishments on here. You know what? I will do that after I do this gold on here, and I will post this. This will be part of a blog post that I'll go ahead and post it in the group there. So I'm hoping that I can't believe this. There's a lot of hackers on here tonight. Oh my goodness! And good thing you can't see them, because I'm just blocking them as soon as they go on. That's what makes our life so interesting. Let me tell you, YouTube Live is really bad for stuff like that. And trust me, I have no idea why certain ones would want to hack into a stamping thing, but that's okay. Anyways, have a great evening. Back on Saturday with my sketch challenge. You probably have noticed that I've been doing some different sketches. I've been asked to go in some different challenges. So I have a very simple one that I do. I'll probably just do more like blog posts and that sort of stuff. They're trolls. You're right. That's what they are. They're trolls. I've been fairly lucky because sometimes I know what area of the world they come from. They don't come from usually the North American one. But yeah, they really do get us. That's for sure. Anyways, card sketch on Saturday, 10 o'clock Pacific time. And also, if you want to join us at 6:30 for a sip and stamp, where you can come and join us and just stamp, do your own thing. You don't even have to stamp. You could do some knitting, crocheting, whatever you want to do. It's just nice to get around people and just chat while you're crafting. Anyways, have a great night, and we will talk to you soon. Bye for now.